Africa and its mineral wealth are more than ever at the heart of the energy and digital transition. That's what emerged from the recent Critical Minerals Summit. Some 50 countries and the biggest multinationals in the mining sector took part in the event organized in Paris by the International Energy Agency. One of the issues discussed was how to diversify the supply of these high-demand minerals such as lithium, cobalt, nickel and copper. We spoke to Amani Abu-Zaid, Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy at the African Union Commission, to find out how Africa is tackling the issue.
Amani Abu-Zaid, we are at the IEA Critical Minerals and Clean Energy Summit in Paris. What are your expectations from this summit?
The African continent is extremely rich, especially in mineral resources. These extremely necessary resources for some are critical for the energy transition or digitization. And they are present in Africa. Between 50 and 80% can be found here. Unfortunately, these minerals continue to be exploited in ways not necessarily ideal for our development. It is true that here at the summit they are being called critical minerals, but for us they are development minerals. These minerals represent an excellent opportunity for us for the development of our continent first of all. If we represent 80% of the minerals, I would expect 80% of the participants to be African. But that's not the case. But it's a first step. It's the first summit. The world needs to be aware, and the global energy transition depends mainly on Africa, and that we Africans are at the very heart of the green economy debate. So we need to rethink our policies and how we look at minerals to develop this whole value chain and create real prosperity. Based on these minerals, whether in terms of education. So we need to develop the capacities and technicians, and we need to start industrialization and material processing programs and forge links with companies that manufacture batteries, for example, or electronic products locally. Create regional chains, because some mines are also located in several countries where there is work to be done, both at the national and regional levels and at the global level, as part of an equitable partnership.
A major issue is the signing of mining contracts. How are you going to enable African countries to negotiate these contracts better?
Thank you very much for this extremely critical question. Before becoming the African Union Commissioner, I was head of the African Center for Natural Resources. And this is what we have seen. The contracts that have been in place for some time now are far from being fair to Africans. Africa, through the African Development Bank, but also other entities, we have all established the African Legal Support Facility, the ALSF. It's a facility that stands alongside our African countries to watch and support them in negotiating contracts. And why am I saying this? For some companies, their turnover often exceeds the economies of several African countries. And they come with a whole set of legal requirements. And it's incredibly intimidating. And there's only sometimes the capacity at the national level to deal with such entities.
Another key issue is the balance between ESG, environmental, social and governance criteria on the one hand, and the development that Africa needs on the other hand. What are your thoughts?
The world is also rethinking how it sources these minerals. What we mean is that this goes beyond the ESG. We are talking about development and the objectives, not just the 2063 agenda, but of the development goals. We need to look at minerals not just in terms of the extraction or transformation process, but in an economic or human context, in terms of human rights and development in our countries. It's not just Africa, of course, but also other developing nations. So this is the beginning of a discussion. The IEA summit is the first phase, the first summit of its kind, and in terms of participation, it's very important. We're talking about 50 countries and almost 40 international companies. But like I said, we also represent 50 to 80% of these minerals. Africans should be at least 50% around the table. We're also becoming aware of our place in the world, especially in this very changing world.